Oh, there she is.
Oh,
Brittany, are you down a treadmill?
I am. I'm on a walking pad, not a treadmill. There's a difference. I have I have not gotten my steps in the last couple days and I've been you know what? It's funny. The older I get, the more I realize that the more active I am, the better my energy is. So even if it's just steps, that my best friend and I kind of did like accountability partners this year and we both focused on getting our steps in. And this has been a game changer. I have a standing desk and I have a walking pad. And I swear to God, I'll hit 12,000 steps and not even blink. Like I don't even realize it when I'm on
So
calls.
what's a walking pad?
Oh, it's just like it was like 89 bucks on Amazon. And it does the same thing. It just doesn't go that fast. So there's no incline. I'm just walking at a really slow pace. I mean, I can go up higher.
Is it electric or manual? Totally
Yeah,
manual.
it's electric. I'm trying to figure out if I can show. I don't think I can show
Oh,
you.
you know what? I'll look it up on
Yeah,
Amazon. No worries.
yeah, look up walking pad on Amazon. It's really
Gotta
um
love Amazon.
yeah, I know. Amazon problem for sure. Okay, we're a small group today. That is unique. I wonder if the reminder went out. Um well, thank you all for being here, and that's great news. Because I'll be able to check in with everybody. So a few of you I saw on this Monday's call. Is there anybody that's brand new that like just started? Anybody? Amanda, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I did your 7 day, then the 2 day encore, and then I signed up for the 90 day 20 people.
Oh shit. Okay. You're doing
Yeah, so
all the
I'm
things
in.
right
I'm
now.
like, I'm all in. And so, yeah, and then I got the reminder email for this, and I'm like, I don't know if this is part of it, but I'm joining.
No, no, it is. It's a part of Thrive. It's the weight loss track. So
Fantastic.
cool. Okay. That's really exciting. Welcome, Amanda. I will yeah, so we sent out another email saying that after this call, I'll stay on. If anybody wants to chat with me about GLPs, I would love to talk to you guys about your experience with them, if you've thought about using them, if you are completely against it, if you're on them right now, like no shame, no judgment, no, I want everybody to feel safe having this conversation, but because I don't work with a lot of private clients, I don't really know. I know what my friends are doing. Like most of my friends are on GLPs. So I guess I just want to talk to more people about GLPs and what their experience is and why or why not. Because I'm going to start to make videos and I'm going to start to do podcasts and that is going to come up. So I need to address it and I'm not quite sure how to address it because I don't know how you guys feel about it. So anyway, we'll do all the breakthrough stuff first, and then anybody that wants to stay on and have that conversation, I would love it. Okay, Marlene, you're unmuted. Do you want to check in first, share some wins, and maybe give us an update?
Sure, I'm so confused over all the wins lately that uh
That's that is a great sign.
it is like I realize I got to do lots of tappings. I've scheduled you in for a daily first thing in the morning is tapping, right?
Good.
Any
Okay.
anyway, um so my wins are on peeling off the onion, and what really shocked the awareness that came to me was that I thought everything had to do with food when you were eating food and all that kind of stuff, but actually it does, but there's subconscious things that are related to that. And I didn't think I had that many memories around um, why I would be so addicted to overeating, but actually there's a lot. And so I guess the most recent one was that um, it came up over a favorite food, right? And it came up over like Twink or Hostess cupcakes
Okay.
and chocolate cake, and associating that with at home and around when we went to visit relatives, that chocolate cake was a big thing, right?
Yep.
And so what I'm finding is the feelings that of satisfaction and joy came while eating chocolate cake, right? And that I didn't realize all the arguing that happened around my family, which was really hard on me because I don't like arguing. And when they weren't arguing, it was while they were eating. And so it was kind of interesting how stuffing food down, people
Yeah,
weren't arguing then.
your
The
brain
fight
just
wasn't
coded
on.
that. If I eat, then nobody's fighting. If I eat, then everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
interesting. Wow,
so
that's
that
cool. Have you noticed anything change since you've discovered that and done, I guess, I'm assuming you've done some ball of light on the foods, right?
um I haven't done any more tapping than
Then what
putting it on my list for to start today than what I've done with the course I've been in. However, what I've found is I'm not near as hungry. Like I haven't even had breakfast. I just got a bowl of bean soup that a homemade bean soup. I got to turn off on the stove, and it's like three after 3 in the afternoon. I'm just not interested in food. It's
Okay.
like, wow, you know,
And is that new
midnight
for you
snacking.
or? Because I don't want you to undereat either, but I think it's good. I do notice that there's this period. I don't want to tell you how to eat. That's
Yeah,
undereating, but I also do notice that there's this adjustment period that happens once you release a lot of blocks or once you're through a pretty substantial like collection of blocks or a trauma that you identify and work through. There is a period for a couple days or a week where you might just not be hungry for a little while, and I think that's totally fine as long as you feel good and as long as you're honoring your body's boundaries, and nourishing yourself and things like that. I think that's great.
okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks for sharing, Marlene.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, Daphne.
So some wins, food is less important. Food is becoming more fuel. I actually am seeing my portion sizes less consciously and not feeling deprived. These are all like major changes for me. Major. Food is not nutrition, everything but.
Wow.
Um, but it's changing. So I can feel that. I also want to communicate to you in the group that I'm feeling a little bit of panic that I'm halfway through my 6 month thing. And
Okay.
I'm panicked about that because I don't feel like I've done my best. I haven't
Okay.
tapped into everything that's going on. So this morning, a win for me was that I actually took the time to write down the positives versus the panic.
Good.
So being able to interrupt the panic thought was a win for me, and doing something I can acknowledge the emotion but not do something about to change. So I'm
Mm,
going to give that a win to this program
That's
to
a huge
interrupt a behavior.
That's a huge one. Yeah,
Yeah.
what I'm finding now that we've implemented that is that it's making people like double down and focus on themselves and get the tapping done and come to the calls and go to all the things that we offer because they know, I mean, even though it's double the amount of time in the program or that the program is, it's you still have a limited amount of time
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm just yeah, I'm really glad. I know it is stressful. I know it is stress, it's a stressful component, and I've heard that feedback. And I can also see we have way more people logging into their programs. We have way more people advancing through the modules. We have way more people showing up to these calls because of that. And so just
I think that's a nice built-in accountability, and we all
it is.
individually can decide what to do with it. Either
Yeah,
shut
we're not kicking
down,
you
move
out.
forward.
At the end of 6 months, I'm still gonna be here. I've been here for 15 years. I'm not going anywhere. So we're
Right.
not, you have the ability to stay in with us. We're not kicking you out. So also know that too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Daphne, was there anything you had a question about or wanted some help with or?
I had yesterday I had to leave the group. It was the second session with body boundary
Oh,
violations,
yeah.
and I had to leave. I
Oh, what
I I
happened?
decided to leave because I just could not connect at the level of work being done.
Oh,
And I switched to a different event that happened in my life, and I am really stuck. And so I'm looking forward to my coach is Casey. I'm looking forward to Monday with Casey and being able to break through. Um, positive thing that happened, my mom lives with me, and I was able to talk about that a little bit. And in a weird way, through our conversation, she was able to give me permission to be angry at her and work through whatever anger I might have with her for not protecting us as kids.
Wow.
Really amazing. She's never said
Wow.
those words to me or owned her part of the equation.
Oh, I'm full body goosebumps right now. Okay, I love when
Yeah.
this happens because it's usually around this time of year that people see family members that they're not used to seeing. And if they've been doing the, work with me for a couple of months and they've actually been implementing it, which sounds like you have been, they will say shit like this to me. Oh my God, my dad for the first time came to Christmas and said he loved me. He has
Yeah.
never said that, like I mean, shit like this. And so what I've realized over time, I don't know if I came up with this or if somebody else said this to me. I think maybe this is just known. But what I've noticed as a pattern is that once you heal once you heal yourself around that person or that thing that happened, that the other person doesn't have to they don't have to keep being the same person. It's like the contract is void. Whatever contract you guys signed for them to be this villain for you to learn this lesson, like once you learn the lesson and get the healing, they no longer have to be that person for you anymore.
Something bizarre is happening. I'm not, it was like, wow. I thought I compartmentalized my anger towards my mom already and dealt with that. And I mean, but she said, no, maybe you haven't, Daphne. You just are really good at rationalizing everything. So you have permission to be mad at me. I'm like,
Wow. Oh, that's
and
incredible.
she's lived with me for 6 years. So,
Wow.
yeah. So that was
Wow. So
it.
you see her on a day-to-day basis. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great share. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
Huge.
welcome.
Okay, and what you said about the class on Wednesday, is that because it was like hosted in a different way than I hosted it, or because
Nope, nope. Dawn did a great job.
okay,
It was hosted in exactly the same way. I was just so out of touch. I was trying so hard to get on the page of feeling ownership that I could speak to the violation or the person who was violating me,
yeah,
and I just couldn't. I
okay,
just couldn't get there.
got it.
And
Okay.
I was so frustrated, I just left.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that would be a really good thing to tap with your coach on. That would be great. I'm glad you have a session with Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Daphne.
Mhm.
Okay, Rocky. Oh, you're not muted, or you're still muted.
I had a huge event happen. I did tell about it last night on the buddy call, but really was. So a couple of them have heard it. I was nearly in an accident Tuesday night on the way to a Christmas event, and I ended up, instead of being under a semi truck, I ended up being the witness.
What?
And it was very significant. Nobody was hurt. A semi ran a red light, and I was the only official witness that. So I had to go back and give a report and everything. So
You saw the semi hit another
the
car?
semi went between me and another car running a stoplight.
Holy shit, Rocky. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was quite frightening. But
Oh,
I, in or I, the truck did stop within a couple of blocks, and this was coming into a town, into the edge of a community.
oh my.
And it had been behind me for maybe 20, 30 miles, and then another vehicle. And how this vehicle got out of the way, I just normally got into the lane that I needed to get into. The other car went off the road, and then the semi goes past.
Wow.
So God was
Thank God
with
you're
me.
here. Yes.
Yes. So I was on my way to an event, and I did go back and turned around and went back, and the police took care of everything. And I'm a nurse, so after the emergency, that's when I shake. So I go on to the restaurant, and this is a bunch of church ladies that I'm really not real familiar with. And I go in, and one of them is a hugger. So she takes me and says, "Why are you shaking?"
Oh,
That's good. So I quit shaking and I sat down, but I really wanted a couple shots of tequila. But I didn't think this was a good place, good setting to do this in.
Right.
So I don't drink soda much. So I did a Diet Coke and 2 lemons.
Yes. There
That
you go.
bubbly got me through it.
There we go.
But the big thing is I really wanted the fettuccine. I really wanted that fettuccine. And I sat there listening to everybody talk with the menu in front of me, doing my finger tapping under the table.
Oh, cool.
And I used forms of muscle testing, and I did my own muscle testing for my level. So I went from a 10 to a 6 to a 0 under the table.
Wow. Oh
And
my God.
yes, I was so proud of myself. And then a lady brought us Amish raisin bread that you do with a starter and pass it on. I packed that up and I took it to my daughter the next day without taking a bite. So, and this week has just been phenomenal with everything.
Oh, that's awesome, Rocky.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
What a great update. Thank you so much for that. And
thank
I'm
you.
so
Thank
glad
you so much.
everything aligned and that you're here with us and got a story to tell.
Can I ask her a question
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of, Rocky, do you feel any deprivation in that at all? Or just peace?
I don't. I just don't need it. And
Oh,
the other
that's
thing,
cool.
last night, something happened. I haven't had a cappuccino since last winter. And that's kind of a winter thing for me. I actually thought I'm going to do this. So I made a cappuccino and I put some marshmallows in it. I sat down with it, got my fingers warm around it, and drank two drinks. And I've been working on sugar cravings, and it was too sweet. I dumped it out and had some tea.
Well done.
So,
Such a great question, Daphne. I'm so glad you asked that because to me, when somebody gets, well, truly, when somebody gets to a 0, that means there's no willpower required because if she was, or there's no deprivation feeling because if she was deprived, it wouldn't be a 0. Right. So that's something to know with your own tapping is like just because you can walk away from it and just because it's like, she could have stopped maybe at a 6 and be like, okay, well, it's not a 10. Right. But then that wouldn't have given her the inner peace that getting to a 0 gave her.
I'm glad I asked it because that is a good no. I mean,
Yeah.
if you still feel a twinge, it's probably not a 0, is what you're saying.
Well, and I think that's the way weight loss and diet, at least the diet culture has conditioned us to feel that, oh, okay, I can say no to that because I know it's not healthy and I'm in this program and blah, blah, blah. That's like the opposite of what we want you to feel. We want you to have no desire for the thing at all.
Mhm.
So, and that's how the techniques work. So anyway, yeah, thanks for asking that question.
and something else, I didn't want to tap for that cappuccino because I really wanted it, but my taste buds have already shifted for that sweetness. It was just too much.
Such a good share. Thank you. That's so cool. Okay, Robin. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hey, Robin.
So yeah, I don't really have cravings anymore. I don't really overeat, except for I have this weird thing, and I'm really hoping that you can, and I will write it down, whatever you tell me, because otherwise I will just forget it and not do it.
Okay.
So I, when things start getting loose, like my pants started getting loose, my fingers are loose, my bra is loose, all of a sudden I have to put the weight back on.
Yeah.
So I am not weighing myself, but it's like, it's sort of like I'm not having the food issues, but I'm having the weight issues. Like the minute that it goes down or that I have physical manifestations of weight loss, it's almost like there's a panic and I have to either increase like high calorie food or yeah, pretty much that's it. I have to go find, I just add high calorie food into my day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. And that's such a good one. And I feel like this is where most people get stuck and such a good place that you're in right now, right? Like you're having fear of success, basically. You're having success and it's scaring you, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I have some questions to ask you. Let me figure out which one to start with. Have you done any body boundary violation or do you know about
I have, and actually last I I went through a lot of the sexual body boundary violations, and this will probably sound familiar to some of the buddies that I see here that I've talked about this is when I was first married and I got pregnant. And so I'm kind of like the person that makes clothes for other people's kids, hangs out with little children, that kind of thing. And
Okay.
I got pregnant, and my mother urged me to get an abortion. And my husband urged me to get an abortion. And my boss, like, found the doctor and set up the appointment. And all of this was sort of like, and I'm a person who likes being around kids, but they were all like, oh no, I was like 21 or 22,
Oh.
21 probably. And I was just pushed into it. So I also feel like I hang on to having a big belly. Somehow that's related.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Okay.
so
So
that
is
that
that
that was a violation, and
that's
yeah, that I've
yeah,
carried with me. Yeah. I
usually
mean, there have
understand.
been other, people
Yeah.
with me, but
And have you tapped on that?
no, I'm not exactly sure how.
Okay. Yeah, that would be confusing because it's not the typical way that we talk about it. Do you know my boundary work? Do you know the boundary this is different. It's different than body boundary violation. We used to call that sexual trauma. But I changed the name just to make it easier for people to consume. Uh
You tell me the video to go look. I will.
Okay, it's in the Golden Vault. It's called something about boundaries. I think I have two of them. There's two different techniques that are really good for boundaries. What,
Okay.
what I would do with you is I would first have you tapped on the sadness and the like whatever the emotions are around it, if it's shame, if it's regret, if it's fear, if it's
Okay. I no. Honestly, it's almost like don't want to touch it. It's sort of,
yeah,
you
that's
know.
sensitive.
Okay.
That's sensitive. But I
Yeah.
guarantee this is like I was just on the call today with the girl that's interviewing for my coaching certification, and we came up with this word called trumping trauma. This is a trumping trauma, and it'll trump all the other work that you've done. So this is very, very common. So if anybody else, like Amanda, you're just starting your journey, anybody else is having this experience, you want to start off with addressing your cravings, addressing your emotional eating, because that will give you results right away. But most people will end up here where it doesn't necessarily need to be sexual trauma, but it'll be something that will trump all the other work, and it'll make it seem like the problem came back, but that's not what's happening. It's activating a different, deeper block inside of you. Okay. So usually with weight, it's about body boundary violation. And I know that just because I've been doing this for 30 years. So Robin, it would be great if you could work with a coach on this. I don't know if you have one-on-one coaching sessions, but it would be great if you could work with a coach on it. But if you're like damned and determined to do it yourself, I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
So you got to tap through. This is probably not one session. You could do it in one session, but you might need to do a few sessions. So tap on all the emotions around it. Go back to that time. Do the echo tapping. Okay. Echo tapping. Go back to that time. Be there. Be pregnant. Everybody's telling you to get an abortion. Walk through what it was like to leave the doctor's. I mean, I've had 2 abortions, so I totally know what that's like. I'm super grateful for my abortions, though. I have a very different feeling about abortion. I've taken a lot of friends to get abortions. But
I have too. So it's not, it's actually me because
yeah,
it's like, yeah, I don't have a thing about, and I've actually then had a second one after my first husband died and, made a choice that was unfortunate, and yeah.
yeah,
But
okay. Thank you for sharing that. So your feeling about that one might have been different about your feeling about this one, right? Like your feeling afterward. So, because yeah, having had also too, I'm like, oh, the first one was different than the second one. And it just depends on the relationship and the circumstances, why you did it and what was going on. So walk through that, like relive that. It's really hard to do. It'll be really hard to do. And if you need to like put something in your mouth and have a snack, don't shame yourself for that. Like that can kind of calm your nerves while you go through this. So do that first, tap through all the emotions. This will probably be like hard. And then I would take each person that you feel like contributed to you making that decision. You mentioned your boss, your mom, and your ex-husband, I believe, and do the boundary work with each one of them separately. that should work. That should take care of it. And there might be some other little things that you'll need to clean up, but if you really hunker down and you just focus on this, I wouldn't focus on anything else, any other parts of the program. I would just work on this. Try to maybe get somebody else in the group to hold you accountable and say, okay, I'm going to commit to the next 5 sessions. 5 times I tap, I'm going to just focus on this. You know, maybe one of them is listening to the boundary call and then the other 4 doing the actual tapping.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a really tough one. My heart goes out to you.
Well, I mean, it's way buried. It's just doing
It's
this work that it's come. I mean, I always was like, oh yeah, I don't want to think about that. That was just a mistake.
It's always the thing you don't want to tap on. I have something also that I need to tap on that I'm just refusing to tap on, and I've known about it for a year and I'm just not ready to do it. And sometimes you're just not ready to address it, and that's okay.
Do you think that's part of my always putting back on whatever weight goes away?
100%.
Okay.
100%. And if it's not just that, it's that and maybe some other things that have happened, but that will make a massive difference.
Okay. And I'm getting towards the end of my 6 months. Can I still use the app?
Yeah, so everything, that's a good question.
The
I
live,
don't know.
the live stuff sort of goes away, right?
Well, you can continue. I think you'll get an email from us saying if you want to continue. It's normally $297 a month and you can get it for $199 a month. So if you want to continue, you pay per month basically. And I don't know if you get access to the app or not. I don't know.
Okay. That's good to know because I could download some of the stuff so that I can
Yeah.
keep using it to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not going to you don't lose. I don't know. I don't know.
Should I ask?
Yeah, ask support.
Ask support. Okay.
Yeah, ask Lena if you have her contact
Okay,
info.
I've got it. Yeah. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Robin. Okay, Jeannie, your hand's up, but I don't see you on camera.
Yes.
Jeannie, oh shoot, I muted you, sorry.
I'm in the UK and I'm in bed. It's 11:30 at night. So
Okay.
really, this is just I think this is a quick question, Brittany.
Okay.
Do you recommend doing all the lessons? The reason I'm asking is because I'm on the clear the plate, and I really don't think that's one of my issues. I did that with you on one of the free calls, the clean the plate, and I don't have problems leaving food on my plate, and I don't eat in. Basically, eating meals is not my problem. It's eating when I'm not hungry that's my problem. And
Yeah.
I'm finding it a bit difficult to do that because it's like, meh. So I'm just, I just like your take on that, really.
Yeah, I would say definitely work on the things that are the hardest for you first. So if eating when you're not really hungry is your biggest problem, then you know that that's going to be the emotional eating stuff and the emotional eating, the push the food away technique and the emotional eating module. Clean your plate is something that you can take or leave. Some people don't resonate with it at all, and then other people kind of avoid it and then realize they do have some pretty big issues around it. I started teaching and I didn't think I had any problems with it, but mine came down to like more money and wastefulness than it was about food. So yeah, I would say that's not an essential. That's never an essential module. That one, exercise, the reticular activating system, those are kind of like, it's an addition to, it's not a core block.
Okay, that's really helpful, Brittany, because it's all, I'm only early days, but it feels a bit overwhelming. So it just gives me a little bit of slack to concentrate on the cravings part, which I'm also struggling with because they don't always. I've tried a few things. I think, well, I'm not sure which this is, but I'm still not sure which is a craving and which isn't. Because I had when I did the free thing, I basically haven't touched chocolate for 6 months. I have no interest in it. Which is an absolute miracle. But there are other things that I haven't had that strong connection, I haven't had that feeling of the person, and it hasn't been that strong in some other things because I have been doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm still a bit uncertain as to which one of those it is, or if it's either of them. I mean, I did this last night with smoked salmon. There was a particular time I remember having it. I was 18. I remember having it for probably the first time. I had this memory, blah, 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 blah. I still wanted it, but
Okay.
actually, I think I was actually hungry.
Well, okay. Yes, I was going to say you have to experiment with yeah, if you eat it anyway after you do ball of light, then yes, you could be hungry, or it could have been emotional eating. If you sometimes you don't know whether you're triggered or not whether you're triggered or not when you're having a craving. And so sometimes you just have to try both techniques, push it away and see if that feels bad. If you're just physically hungry, it'll feel bad to like your stomach. You'll be like, oh, well, I am really hungry. My stomach is growling. But it won't feel bad emotionally, right?
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes when you first start this, sometimes you just have to try both and see what works.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, Kenethia.
Hey,
Hi.
so my win is that I tried what you suggested with the protein powder chocolate stuff and pushed it away. And I don't want it anymore.
Nice.
Which is really good. I have been allowing myself to have like a little bit of things. Like I got some peppermint popcorn and I've had just a little here and there, and I seem to be like just able to be okay with it. So
Great.
yeah.
Well done, Kenethia.
Thank you. So my question for you is like the body boundary stuff you did this week, and then I got on with the coach, and I'm scratching the surface of more things, I think. But I'm wondering if I actually have some kind of like benefit to holding on to this, because it feels like I'm not I'm usually really like, oh, I'm gonna do the work and blah blah blah. But there's something about it, especially going after like the big ones, that I'm holding myself back on.
Well, what's the downside of getting rid of it?
I can't like in my head, I can't think of any downside,
Don't ask your head.
right?
Ask your emotions. What's the downside of getting rid of this?
That I wouldn't have any more excuses for hiding out.
Super common one, super common. You're not alone. I think most people is that excuses. So in that sense, is it like, then I'll have to live up to higher standards. I'll have much higher standards for myself, and I don't know if I can live up to that. Or what's the excuses about?
Maybe because I have some trauma around like some of my stuff happened. There was like a video piece of it. So in my mind, the way I want to show up and like with coaching and stuff that I want to do, I have to show up online. And anytime I push myself to do like video, and there's something about like showing up in that way that gets ramped up because it doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. Well, you could work on that directly too. Yeah, you could work on that first, and then I would treat those as different problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think the what happened last time gave me like a bigger piece of the puzzle, because it wasn't like it was that I allowed myself to be seen, and then everything went like it was bad.
Right. Okay. So then that's probably the visibility part of it,
Yeah.
right? The sexual trauma or the body boundaries, that's going to be its own thing, I think. But you're right, they could be affecting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I would
mean,
work on them separately.
yeah. I mean, there's kind of a connection right there, because my trauma is that like somebody put a video out.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
Yeah, I get it. But I would work with the issue separately. Don't try to
oh,
work
okay.
in the same. I wouldn't focus on the fear and the pain of each one of those things separately. And I think you'll do
Okay.
a better job. Otherwise, you'll get into it and you'll be confused, and it's like too many things to.
Yeah. And I think that's what's happening, because every time I try to go into something and like decide to focus on, I mean, a lot of times I try to focus on a little one, but if I try to focus on the big one, there were so many pieces of it, it gets all jumbled up.
Yeah.
So, okay.
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 All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Okay, Brigitte.
Hello. Okay,
Hello.
so I had to drive for a little bit because I had to get out of Mount Vernon with the floods and the winds,
Oh, no.
and now I'm in a safe spot so I can talk and listen. My wins, I was thinking, well, everyone else was talking. I didn't realize it, but like I work 2 to 3 days a week helping my sister out at her hotel that she manages. And so I'll do like the front desk and set out breakfast. I always used to have like a little snack or a little treat or something. And I just realized yesterday and today I did not have one. In fact, I didn't even like think about it. That's so funny. So that I think is a huge win,
It's
you
a
know?
huge win. And that's exactly how you want to start acting, is like somebody who just doesn't think about food until they're hungry or until they know it's time to eat.
Yeah, and I was really thrilled with that. And then Monday, I was on the boundaries class, and I thought it would be something that happened when I was 4, and I kept like trying to go back to when I was 4, and instead, something that happened when I was 47 came to the fore, and I had some realizations about that. And for the past 2 days, I've been tapping on it because I'm so stinking angry about it and realizing what happened, that I had kind of just like brushed over or just kind of put out of my mind. So, in the whole revenge thing, I was just like appalled. I thought, oh my God, how can I do the whole revenge thing where, you metaphorically get really like down and dirty and kind of gory with like the revenge thing? But I got over myself and worked it out.
It is
So
satisfying.
it was
Yeah,
so satisfying. And every time I
satisfying.
thought about it, I'd tap on the anger and then I would do that revenge thing again. And it was so great. I'm just like, wow.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What a great share. And you know what, that's very common, that you start to get into something and it just kind of scratches the surface of something else. And your brain is like, okay, she's in the right space. She has the right container to address this now. You'll start to remember things. Yeah, which is
Yep.
annoying and hard, but it's also why you're here, right? So
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a win, even though I feel like I've been put through the ringer. That's okay because it's going to
um,
be a win. It is a win. And I just have to come through it and come out on the other side.
anger is one of those things, if it's coming up for you right now, that's so, because I know you're just at the beginning stages of this. If you're already getting into anger and you can feel it and you're doing the anger tapping, you're going to be so thrilled with yourself in a couple months. Like, truly, it's
Yay.
the biggest needle mover, I would say. Other than the sexual trauma, the anger work is like the biggest needle mover. So cool.
Love it.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Bridget. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hi.
So I had a couple things. I have like a win, but I'm having a falling off the wagon syndrome also.
Okay.
So like I can have a day like yesterday where I'm really good about food. I haven't overeaten. I haven't snacked. I've had what I needed. It's all been super, super healthy, you know? And like then I had a pool put in at the end of the summer. Then I go in the pool and I'm in there working out for a little over an hour. And that feels great. And then my body feels and looks, great this morning. And I'm like sort of like all positive and good. And then today I fall off the wagon. I, you know, I'm by the a little patisserie, and I buy, like a chocolate croissant, and I buy something else, and then I come home and I eat it right away, and that becomes my brunch. And then I'm like, I was so good, and then like the next day I completely, and I shouldn't be eating gluten anyway because I'm basically intolerant to it and get inflamed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then when Robin was speaking, I was kind of reminded of something, and I think this I definitely have to tap on, but this may be, like a part of it, is that I remember a time decades ago now where there was a situation with a man, and I haven't thought about it in so long, forgotten about it basically, until Robin, thank you, your story reminded me, where he was just so insensitive and inconsiderate and disrespectful, you know? And I thought, I felt, oh, I have to tap on that. But if there's anything else you can say about, like, you know, my up and down type of going on, about sometimes doing really good for a day or two, and then what I call falling off the wagon, I'd be happy to hear.
Well, I guess I'm curious, so Robin shared that it's when she notices her pants or her clothing is fitting differently. So what do you think what's your clue? Is it the happiness? Is it the way you looked? Is it like, what's the thing that you're like, oh, I always have this happen and then I backslide?
Well, on the Monday call, there was something that came up. I think it's like being in the environment of, like, not really respectful attention, sexual attention. And so it's like, if I know my body's looking better, I think there's something internally going on that I'm like.
Okay, so that's what I'm curious about. Did you catch a glimpse of yourself? Did you see yourself in a bathing suit? You talked about being in the pool. Did you see yourself in a bathing suit and be like, oh shit, I look good? Like, I
saw myself in the bathing suit last night, and I looked better. I looked better again, you know? And then I pulled on my yoga pants this morning and put on high heel platform boots. And I just saw the way it fit my leg and my thigh. And that looked, you know, nicer, more shapely or thinner, you know, athletic.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that looks really good.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that type of thing. And my waist was really good in the swimsuit. And
yeah. Okay. Yeah. And we want to be proud of ourselves. We want to be excited about that and like be able to celebrate it, right?
Yeah. And I want to feel good about it.
Totally.
And I want to feel healthier and happier about it. But
okay.
There's something else.
Answer this question. Sorry, Karen, something's just coming to me. Answer this question. Being a slimmer size means, what does it mean to you?
I'll get too much attention.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So body boundary stuff. Exactly. If you were here for Robin's, yeah. I mean, the body boundary violation module is kind of like a mishmash of all the techniques together. It's anger, it's echo tapping, it's you were on the call, right, this Monday?
Yes, I was.
Did you work on that or did you work on something else?
No, I worked on that during the call. It was really helpful.
Okay, great. So you might just have some more work to do around that. And it's totally fine if it's getting activated now. Like you're at the right spot in your own journey that's coming up for you, because that's what we're talking about. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that.
I'm kind of right on track, basically.
You were right on track, girl. Yeah, you were doing, and you know what? You wouldn't know that you have a body boundary violation unless you had the experience of having success with the other techniques and then noticing that you feel good and noticing you look better. You know, so it's all coming up for you in the right way, in the right time, in the right container. You have tools to address it. There couldn't be a more perfect scenario for this to come up and for you to finally address it.
Okay. Thanks for that feedback. That helps.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Yeah. I know it's challenging, but that's literally why you guys are here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
I was posted on that. Oh, okay, Becca.
Hey everyone. I'm pretty new here. I've only been doing this kind of tapping for like 5 or 6 weeks.
Welcome.
And thank you. And I have so many wins, like just immediately so many things have shifted. I have almost no sweet tooth at all, which I come from a long line of family of people eating sweets, and haven't had hardly any chocolate at all in like 5 or 6 weeks after doing the push the chocolate chips away. I have strengthened a bunch of boundaries with family. I've like let go of anger with my mom, or just like our relationship has gotten better. And I also am pregnant, And
Oh my God, congratulations.
thank you. And
Oh,
yeah, I'm like 7.5 weeks pregnant, and I'm so excited that I'm not going to pass this on to this little one inside of me. And it's like a long history of my family thinking that sugar equaled love.
wow.
And so I'm so excited to not pass that on.
Oh, congratulations. You've been actively trying to get pregnant?
Yeah, this time. So I also have a 13-year-old son,
Okay.
and I that was not intentional.
All
And I
right.
unfortunately have passed this eating as a coping mechanism onto him. And
Okay.
so that was part of my question is like he's 13 and a boy, how I can tap with him through like what is there any a lot of this program is geared towards women. I mean, it's occasionally
Yeah.
there's guys.
Well, I have to say, my first client was my dad, and men respond better and easier and faster to these techniques than women do. Although I will say that working with younger people it's not something that I've had a lot of success with. And so I typically say like, I would say you intuit what you think is going to be helpful for him. Like, go as you go through the course and as you learn how to work with yourself, I think you'll start to notice maybe his motivation, if it's coming from a place of scarcity, if it's coming from a place of, you know, coping, if it's coming from a place of, dysregulated emotions. There's different tools, right? Um,
Yeah.
for each one of those things. And so um, yeah, I would just say use your judgment and figure out which techniques you want to share with him.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, with this one, I was trying for 2 months and it worked on the second month. And I'm 38, so I'm starting over again with a new little one. And I'm eloping next month and going to Tanzania. And so a lot of really exciting
Oh,
things.
awesome. Congratulations. Those are huge,
Thank you.
huge life changes. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So thank you. I'm so excited to just keep going with this program. So appreciate it.
beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Becca. God, my best friend just had a baby, and I've never been so close with anybody who's had a child. And I'm like seeing firsthand how intensive it is to have a child. I'm like, wow, you gotta be a really special person to do that. Just a lot of patience, which I don't have. Okay, Sandra, hi.
Hi. As far as wins go, it's mostly uh this past week it's been that I'm not doing the holiday thing I normally do, which is eat whatever's there really quickly so I don't feel the social anxiety.
Awesome.
And like last night I had to work, but there was food around all the time. And in the beginning, I was just able to say no, thank you. People were, "You want me to get you some of this, and you want me to get you some of that?" And it's like, no, I'm okay, thank you, whatever. Um, and at the end, I got a few things and brought it home, and I really prefer chocolate to anything. And what ended up on the plate, somebody else had gotten me a plate, and there was stuff that's like, I just don't feel like, the vanilla cookies and whatever. I'm not interested, and I threw them away. So
Mm,
there's progress with that.
awesome.
My dilemma is that I've been working on push the food away, but time. I've got deadlines every day, and I do a lot of work from home, and I'm just tired of the deadline stuff, and I'm tired of feeling like I don't have time to do the tapping. Like the push the food away takes time. It's not just tap for 5 minutes and you're moving on. Actually going back to the echo and whatever takes a fair amount of time, and and I'm angry that a lot of times I can't make it to the classes, to these calls.
Mhm.
The daytime ones are almost impossible unless I can get a special break. Um, So I'm angry about that. And I just feel like I have so many deadlines and anger. And somebody said to me, well, why don't you do some anger work?
Mhm.
So I got a damn it doll and I was slamming some things around and whatever. And at that time, I was focusing on a particular person, happened to be my mother. And I got some of the anger out, but then I had a hangover. I don't know if that's what you call a purge, but I had this hangover that just, I didn't want to do anything. I blew some deadlines or whatever. So I don't know whether to work on anger work or whether to just keep pushing through and trying to do the echo tapping at this point. I've heard you say to do the echo tapping and the ball of light before doing anger work. And I'm just,
Well, it sounds like you've made progress with your cravings, right?
yeah,
You started off by sharing that as your first win. So I would say if anger is coming up for you right now, dive into that. I know what you're talking about with the hangover, and that's not the same thing as a purge, but it can be intense. And I get it with like I'm the busiest I've ever been in my entire life right now, and it is hard to fit extra shit in. So I empathize with you. And I know that there's seasons to life, right? And there's seasons where I can do, X, Y, and Z, and other times, I don't have a lot of time for the other things. And so I think, obviously you've got to work because that's important. But I would maybe take a look at like, okay, what else can I replace? What like are you watching TV? Are you on your computer? Do you play games? Do you read? Like, what are you doing? You can't be working 24 hours a day, right? So are you working 12 hours a day and then you're eating and sleeping? Or is there something that else that you're doing that you can say, okay, maybe in the evenings once I'm done with work, then I can focus and dig in and do the anger. And then if you feel bad, you just go right to bed. You drink a ton of water. You've got to drink tons of water. You could be really dehydrated if you're feeling super bad. So I would say get some water with electrolytes, make sure that you're really healthy and um and yeah, dive in after work. It's also a good time to do anger work too, because you have a lot of built up energy and you could do anger work instead of working out. Okay. Instead of
really,
exercising. Well, I would just say you're not going to want to do
yeah,
that for the rest of your life, but it is a workout kind of,
right.
right? So I would say, okay, I'm not going to exercise my body today, but I am going to do anger work, right? Which is also, I mean, I sweat during anger work. Like I work up a sweat. It's not the same as going for an hour long walk or going to the gym, but it's a workout. Don't try to make yourself do both. I know sometimes when I try to make myself do all the things, then I don't do anything, right? So what can you cut and replace the topping with is what I would be
Mhm.
asking.
Okay,
So
thanks.
yeah, you're welcome, Sandra. Hopefully the workload gets easier for you next year. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Amanda, do you have any questions? I know we checked in, but you didn't ask me any questions. Do you need any clarity or any help?
Um, nope. I want to dive in to the content first and
Okay.
kind of learn like, when to tap, what to say. I'm a military pilot by trade, so checklists and rules are my jam. And
Great.
so, yeah, and so I just want to kind of go through it. And so I do some tapping and different things, and I'm like, should I say this? Should I say that? So I'll start going through things and then have questions after, I'm sure.
Okay, awesome. I had a personality person who came up with their own version of a personality, call me the yoga instructor engineer. He's like, you're like really intuitive and like aware of your body, but you also really think in systems. Like, that's exactly what I do. Yes. So anyway, it's a choose your own adventure. So we definitely have checklists and all the things for you. And there is a process for pretty much everything. Okay, awesome. Robin, your hand's up. And then just as a reminder, if you want to hang out and talk to me about GLPs, I would love to have a conversation about that. Hi, Robin.
Hello. Okay, so months ago you had said that you were tapping when you were watching TV. And so sometimes my avoidance takes me right to the television. But if I sort of could pre-program myself I could tap while I watch TV and sort of like work on something, unconsciously or subconsciously at the same time, that would be wonderful. Because sometimes I just feel like running from the experience of what I go through to tap.
Totally. I would say that takes a pretty high level of skill to be able to tap and watch TV at the same time because you're slightly disassociated. So I would say that that could be like that's kind of a middle way. And like instead of eating while you're tapping, you could like watch TV and tap. You just have to be aware of you have to continue to hold the feeling as much as you can while you watch TV. When I'm watching TV, I'm not actually really paying attention to the TV. I'm just focusing on something else. So I'm kind of like not in my body and in the memory. So it gives my brain and my eyes a distraction. So it lessens the pain. But that also means you're not gonna tap as deeply.
Okay.
So yeah, it's the middle way. It's the middle way. It's the less intense way. But if you're still here in 3 months, we're talking about the same thing, I'm gonna encourage you to do it the original way.
Okay. And then you just mentioned GLPs. Are you using them in the program now?
No, but I want to have a conversation about it, and talk to people that are on it, people that are considering it, people that have been on it or don't ever want to have it.
I
So,
considered it 6 months ago, and then I did this instead. So I have it in my refrigerator, but I've never opened the package.
oh, I remember you said that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your biggest fear? If you're willing to have this conversation in front of everybody, can we chat about it?
Sure.
Okay, why didn't you start it?
Because of side effects. I don't think it's been on the market long enough. I don't think they know. It's like the thalidomide problem. It's like, yeah, go ahead and take it. Oh, we're so sorry that your child has no arms. It's like, I'm waiting to see what happens to like all of these skinny celebrities who have to be on it forever. And the minute that they are off of it, it comes back, which is the story of my life. You don't go on a diet unless you want to gain weight. So in my life, I started at 13 with fat camp. I did electroshock therapy, everything that has happened, years and years and years of this crap. Every single time I have gained back more than I lost. And I lived on the rice diet for a year in North Carolina, lost 77 pounds, gained back, like 97 pounds. So it's the same thing with GLP-1. It's like if it's not something permanent, which your program is something that whatever it is, it unknots the problem. The thing that you've covered with fat to make it comfortable, it takes it away. You look at it, you excise it, and then you don't have to revisit it.
Okay, so it sounds like you were afraid of the side effects and you've had enough experience with diets that you realized there's a deeper issue going on here and you weren't willing to like use another kind of diet approach or another short-term solution.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And my doctor, I had talked my doctor into prescribing it because it's like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high this, high that. And they're like, wanted to give me another, like a peacock's tail full of medication for each symptom. And it was like, that's not it. It's overweight. I just need to deal with the weight.
You know what, Robin, I'd be really curious what happens once you go through this body boundary violation and maybe, get into some anger work. I'd be really curious to see what happens with your blood work when you go in to be checked next time, because often people who have really high levels will like very, very commonly they'll come in and say, oh my God, my doctor asked me what I've been doing because all my levels are completely normalized. So I'd be super curious to see what happens.
That would be okay. So yeah, I swim a mile every day. So all these things they tell me that I have, I'm kind of like, yeah, well, I have this other thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for talking about this.
Yeah. I want to start talking about it on podcasts. I just need to understand what the general consensus is. Who better than to ask you guys? Okay, Brigitte.
Hi. Okay. I did unmute, correct?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Okay, perfect. I have been on tirzepatide for since January 24th, so a couple of years,
Okay.
and I am the lowest I've ever been in probably 39 years. I'm back to the weight I was like after I had my first baby and had started getting sick and gaining. So I'm thrilled about that. But I've lost 60 pounds so far. The first 50 though was in the first year, and this last year, the second year that I've been on it, I feel the best I've ever felt. My A1C is perfection now, and I couldn't take anything else, any other medications to bring my A1C in line. Diet wasn't working. Low carb, high protein wasn't working anymore to keep type 2 diabetes out of my blood work. So it's been a godsend as far as that. I haven't had any side effects except a little bit of nausea every once in a while. I was on the top tier of and I'm taking compound tirzepatide because it's cheaper for me,
Okay.
with a trusted pharmacy. um, and The second year though, I've only released 11 pounds, and I've been plateaued, for a really long time. Got to my very lowest point right before Cancun in October. And then in November is like I had told everybody before, that's when my husband blew up our marriage a month later, our marriage of 40 years, by telling me he had cheated on me 16 years ago. So since then, I've been up 7 pounds, and I'm going to weigh myself tomorrow morning because I'll be back home then and see where I'm at. And I just know that I view it as a tool, but it is not the answer of all answers. It's simply a tool.
Okay. I'm so glad we're talking because you're exactly who I want to talk to. Because I think there's a lot of people like you that are on it. And like my friends who have been on it for a while, they're like, well, it stopped working for me after a while. Are you noticing that like the food noise is coming back? Or why did you join this program? That's what I'm super curious about.
I joined the program to get rid of the stress from my impending divorce and to also release any and all financial blocks because I want to start really making my own money. I don't want a single dime from that SOB. And so that's why I'm looking into certification, because this program, to me, I have felt the effects of it so quickly and so fast that it is what I want to bring to other people. So I will be looking into that, but I'm going to take care of myself first and do my little 6-week thing. And I might join that 20 person group too.
Oh yeah.
I got to sign up for that call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I really want to. So I just got to sign up for the call and figure that out. But I signed up for it because of stress and financial
But hold
releasing
on, wait.
money.
I have another question about that. So you
Okay.
went to my free challenge. It's all about
Yeah.
food cravings and weight. You're like, I'm good with weight, but this girl, it like, how did you? Because we don't talk about financial or for anything like.
Oh, but you do. Christy
What?
on day 4 blew my mind. And I'm like, oh, hello, I'm joining up. Because not only did it help her cravings and stuff, she got to be the best. I'm getting emotional. Whew, it's so exciting. She got to be the best version of herself. She had like lost all her stress, all her financial blocks. She found a way to stop the patterns so that she could be who she truly was. And that is so successful. And I even listened to the replay again because it's so good. So day 4, I was just waiting for payday. And that's when I signed up for the 6 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
2 weeks ago tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Brigitte. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Daphne.
So I was working with a naturopath and taking very low doses, and I could not tell you which one it was, but started low doses so that I wouldn't have the side effects. I did not want the side effects at all. I did it for about 4 months, and it was a slow process of getting to the level that was effective for me to help lose the weight. I did it initially because I was so frustrated between menopausal issues, cortisol issues, stress issues. I just felt like my body was working against me and I didn't know how to break it. And then you popped into my life on just a passing thing. And I was like, I think I like this idea better to get to the heart of it.
Mm,
So I, like Bridget, want to find the heart.
okay.
And I don't think GLP-1s do that. I have many friends who are on them and they hit a plateau and they lose significant amount of weight, but now they're afraid of regaining weight.
Yes.
And so I just stopped it. I just said, I don't want to spend money on this anymore. I'm just done. And so I did that. And I do want to go ahead if you want to say anything before I
No, no, no,
say.
I'm listening. No, 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 I'm listening.
So I also want to piggyback on what Bridget said too about, oh, your program does talk about the
Doesn't
other
it?
things. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I did that a long time ago, so I forget all the moments.
yeah, no, and I don't think it's overt. I
Yeah,
think it just, if you're thinking about this program, you're
yeah.
like, if this works here, why wouldn't it work someplace else?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
that was more, I mean, I can't say like Bridget did on day 4, Christy, I
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah.
say that, but I can say that it excited me to be able to go, I'm going to explore this and check it out. And the GLP ones,
They don't do
I think they're a band-aid. That's my personal
that.
feeling.
Okay. Okay. Great. Oh, I'm so glad we're having this conversation. It's making me excited. Okay, thank you. All right. Joanne.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, I was on GLP-1s for about a year.
Okay.
I need both knees replaced, but the doctors don't want to do it until I lose more weight.
Okay.
And so my doctor had suggested I go on them, and I had resisted it for quite a while. Then a couple of years ago, I had gotten really ill and I had dropped like 30 pounds just from being really ill.
Okay.
And after I was getting better, the weight started coming back on. So then I did go to the doctor and I said, okay, put me on this. Um, I did not have dramatic weight loss with it. I did lose some, but I could go for months without losing any more weight.
Yeah.
And after a little over a year of being on it, they changed the drug I was on. They increased my dosages. It still wasn't really doing anything. And at the cost of, five, six, seven, $800 a month, um, I just said, if this isn't going to do much for me, I can't keep paying that. And so
Yeah.
I did come across your program and I crunched the numbers and I go, well, the other thing with GLP-1s is, and the doctors, they don't like to tell you this when they first put you on, but when you decide to go off, they will admit that you go off of it and you gain weight back. And I have gained some of the weight back, not all of it.
Yeah.
I've gained some of it and I've been holding steady. I've been struggling still to release more weight, but um, that is the other thing with your program is using this and you can release the weight and get to the core of the problem. Then I'm
Without
not
having
just
to take something
using
for
that bandage.
right.
So the cost, I didn't have terrible side effects. I did have a few times
Okay.
where I was like, it was almost like my gut paralyzed and I would feel like I couldn't get anything up or down and
Okay.
I'd be gagging slimy stuff up.
Oh, God.
It didn't happen very often, but a few times, and I think it was from that.
Okay.
Um, I I I think that we are much better and we treat our bodies way better if we can go things as naturally as possible rather than putting more synthetic drugs into our system. I
Yeah.
am also not diabetic, so it's not like I need it to manage my diabetes. So I've chosen to go off. Um, I will not go back on it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Joanne. I love your perspective too, because it sounds like for you it was a decision that you wanted to really confront the root cause. And also you did the math and you're like, okay, 500 bucks for the rest of my life is more expensive than, whatever I invest here.
Yeah.
Did I get that?
Yes, that is true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great feedback. Thank you so much. This is really helpful, you guys. Hey, Marlene.
Hi. So I've been on Ozempic for 4 years. I
Oh,
don't take
wow.
I don't take it properly, and
Okay.
I was
In
put on
what
it.
way? Like when you say properly, what does that mean?
I'm supposed to take a shot a week, and
Okay.
I wait 2 weeks to a month, 6 weeks before I'll take a second shot.
Oh,
And
okay. Good. Why are
why
you doing that?
I I was put on it to keep my blood sugar down.
Okay.
And I didn't think my blood sugar was that high. In Canada, I'll relate it to you on the A1C was around 7 when I first started them. And
Okay.
then now it's at 5.6, and it's been in the fives for probably over a year.
Okay.
And I don't like taking medication, is why I don't
You
take
take
it very
this.
often.
Okay.
And it is expensive. Like even in Canada with the health program, it's like 250 a month, and I got to pay $50, but it's still an expense that I don't care to have. Um, the what I notice on taking it is it just totally cures my craving for sweets for up to maybe 10 days. And then and if I eat something sweet in that time, I get a stomach ache, right? And feel nauseous. Um, but if I don't eat something sweet, I'm okay. Um, I've talked to my doctor about not taking it at all, and he says, "Well, why would you not want to do that?" And to me, it's kind of like, why would I want to, right? Prick my finger, and it's in the fives, right? So why would I want to keep taking it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I really don't want to keep taking it. I've been taking it wrong, which I gotten heck from a couple of doctors on that because I'm supposed to take a shot a week, which would be like 1 ml a week, right?
Okay.
But I think that's overdoing it personally. Um,
So
I
have
don't
you
know.
gotten to the place where have you gotten to your weight, like the weight that you want to be, or why have you, I guess you stayed on it for the A1C. I'm trying to
Yeah.
understand why, if you've been on it, why you joined this program.
Oh, because I believe in natural, right? I don't like
Okay,
taking medication.
got it.
And I'm still heavy. I'm still 100 pounds overweight, right?
Okay. And
And
so do you
so
still have food noise then, despite taking it? Do you still struggle with the cravings and the emotional eating and the food noise and stuff that people
uh,
report goes away when you take it?
yeah, that's right. It does go away for about up to 10 days.
Okay, and that's when people then take another shot, but you're like, well, I don't want to take the medicine. Okay, I see how you're doing it. That's actually, so if I were to recommend how people, if I were to recommend a way for people to take it, it would be that way. Take a little bit of it so that you get some of the benefits of it, and then don't take it for however long so that the food noise comes back. You can work on that, and then you get some relief, although it would probably stop your therapy process. Stop your therapy process. That actually, I'd have to, let me rethink that. I'm not recommending GLPs, anybody. I'm just trying to think about, because I know there's so many people that are on them. I'm trying to figure out how we can talk about it throughout the program and how people can feel like they can do this program and take those at the same time. Because it's just inevitable. I mean, almost all of my friends are on it. So,
I didn't have any big weight loss off it ever in the
yeah.
whole 4 years. You
Yeah.
know, I think I've lost 30 pounds over 4 years. Well, that's nothing to write home about because
Yeah. Right.
I've done lots of things like
Yeah.
this and, high protein eating and stuff like that
Yeah.
to slowly not and exercise, a lot of swimming.
Okay.
So I don't think it's knocked a pound off me personally.
Yeah.
And they even
Okay.
upped it, and that didn't do any good. So
Okay.
I lowered it again.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Marlene. That's really helpful. Appreciate it. Oops, sorry, I muted you. Sorry, go ahead and unmute again. Can't hear you.
On I'm a bit curious about peptides because a lot of people talk about peptides and I don't like shooting anything into me, but are peptides of any advantage that you know of?
I don't know. I'm following some people about it, and I'm kind of more of a natural girl myself, so I will probably experiment with it. I'm just trying to figure out which one that I want to start with. So I'm in research about it. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Daphne.
Marlene jogged my memory. My boyfriend, who's 66, lives with me, was on Ozempic for A1C, did not lose weight from it, stopped using it because his insurance didn't cover it anymore. His A1C went back up. He claims that he's feeling a little more nervous about sugars, still able to manage them, but he does have to take something else to help with his diabetes. He is diagnosed with diabetes. So just
Okay.
added information.
Yeah, thank you. That's super helpful. My dad's on it too, and he's actually diabetic, so it is working. It's helping him for that.
Yeah, it did help Gary a lot, but just had to do something different for his diabetes.
Totally, totally. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Karen.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd chime in because I talked, just out of curiosity, only because of the weight, I talked to my doctor, who's female, about it earlier in the year. And she really left it up to me, but she said one of the things that, you know, would be one way to approach it is to take a smaller dose than what they recommend.
Right. Kind of.
So listening to Marlene, I thought, well, I'll just add that in there. She said, just do a much smaller dose and start and don't plan to increase it like they say, and see, first of all, how that could go.
Oh, I love that idea. Thank you so much for that.
Now, I didn't do it, so I can't report.
Yeah, okay.
What it was like, but that was one idea that my doctor had about it.
Okay, cool. Love that idea. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to, I don't want to have to redo the challenge because it was so good the first time I did it, but maybe I'll do like a little slide in, like, hey, if you're on Ozempic, here's how to work with it, or if you're on GLPs. Yeah, to address that, because it was shot before we had the drug, so I don't say anything about it. Okay.
I'd be interested in more doctors' opinion who've had patients, and if there's any studies actually done, to how successful it's been the last couple of years. I don't know if there is.
Oh, there's tons of research. It's hard to trust the research because, you basically can pay to get your outcomes. It's been around for a long time. Eli Lilly started testing it, I think 20 years ago in Norway on actual diabetes people. So as I've gone down the rabbit hole, I mean, I can't like cite studies and things like this, but I do know that it's been available and on the market for much longer than it's been in America. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So to my knowledge, I mean, but you hear about some people, I think somebody on the call the other day was like, I went blind in one eye when I took it. Like, I mean, you hear some people having some crazy side effects. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that just gets buried or.
Yeah, the whole possibility of side effects is what kind of turned me off of it. And I thought, I'm just going to try to get back in the right thing. And so that's also, I joined this program instead of.
Yeah.
And didn't start on a medication because I'm kind of not thinking that that's the crux of the issue.
Good for you guys. Like, you guys are so strong and so brave. Holy shit. The amount of people that would choose to do this versus a pill, a shot that they can take to make their fat go away. Oh my God, that is such a hard decision. Amanda, I would love to hear what you have to say about this topic.
Yeah, so my mom didn't do Ozempic, but it was like the off-brand of it, and she did it for a year, lost a ton of weight, went off of it because I begged and pleaded her to do it. I do stem cell and peptide activation with your own body's light. So I am like wholly holistic kind of thing. And it's like studied the side effects, and that was just really crazy. And what I saw the side effects of her was because she just didn't want to eat it all, it was the opposite. So what did her body do? Store, store, store. And then she lost a lot of muscle. She wasn't losing fat. She was losing muscle, and she wasn't eating enough. So she felt like she had energy, but not energy to actually go outside and walk and do the things, sunlight, all these natural things that actually heal the body. And so now she's not on it. Just like some of the ladies I talked about, she gained even more because her metabolism was so much lower because she didn't have the muscle there to keep it up. And so now it's trying to rebuild the muscle just to get her back to her muscle baseline of before.
Wow.
She pretty much lost all of her smell, didn't
Oh,
poop. Well, if you're
shit.
not pooping, you are that poop's somewhere, right? It's not
Yeah.
coming out. And so what does that do? That really starts to get into the brain. And so now the studies are showing that Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's are really on the rise because
Mm.
you're basically putting your own disease into your body because you're not pooping. So that's like
Interesting.
pooping is like a huge negative side effect of it. And my mom really dealt like that. And that was my hardcore, like, okay, no, if you're not pooping, like there's an issue here
Yeah.
with it. And so that was her. So I would say the one of the things too is I know a lot of trainers will have their clientele go on it, but they're very strict about it. They will only do it, but you are in here. Here's the training program. So you do not lose the muscle. I think just from what I've studied and what I've learned from it is you got to work out, you got to lift weights.
Yeah.
Like weight lifting and the GLP-1s have to go hand in hand with
Yes.
it. And then even though you might not be hungry, there's only a certain amount of fasting that is good. And as women, it's better if we can kind of fast with our cycle. And even if you don't have a cycle anymore, you just start day one and then roll through it because otherwise you're throwing off your metabolism, you're throwing off your hormones and everything. And it's just like a snowball effect. So I
Yeah.
think that I'm not saying like for my mom, like it's a hard no because she's my mama.
Yeah, yeah.
But for others, I think if I'm not here to judge, say no to anything else, but if I think weightlifting and even if you don't feel like eating, you just got to do it.
Gotta eat.
It
Yeah.
is got to be because you only want to do small amounts. So it's really got to be the right stuff to give your body the nutrients that it needs. And that's what I think is the biggest kudos to your program is this is foundational, right? The GLP-1 food, everything else that comes into our body is still foreign. Your
Yeah.
body still has to figure out what that is. Metabolism, your stomach's like, what do I do with this? My liver, like all these things. This isn't. Your
Yeah.
body knows your own emotions. Your subconscious knows everything about you more than you even understand. And so your program is absolutely foundational to everything, just the way that God designed us.
Yeah. Thanks
So
for saying that. Yeah. Oh, okay. I love it. Thank you for that feedback. And yeah, that's a really, really good point about the protein and the weightlifting. I saw my stepmom go on it, and it was about a year between when she started and when I saw her next, and she lost like most of her hair because I'm like, and I never see her eat anymore. She's like, I just can't. It's too hard. I'm like, "Oh, you're losing your hair. I don't know. Anyway, that's scary. Okay, Grace.
So I came in late because I was thinking 4 o'clock and it was actually 3 o'clock.
Oh,
Anyway, so I missed the class, and I guess actually, when will that be loaded up? And are we in Tapping or Thrive right now? I'm getting them mixed up.
tapping circle.
Okay, so anyway, my question is this: I fell twice for those things that were on Facebook, like the pink salt trick, and you have to listen to the whole darn thing, and then blah blah blah, and then you buy some bottles of stuff that's GLP-1. It's obviously not like be injected, but it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, did anybody talk about that earlier or those
No, I wanted, so we already did the class. It'll be uploaded. I think it was a really good call and you'll get a lot of value from it.
Okay.
If people could stay on longer and talk to me about GLPs, because I want to start talking about it.
Yeah, I got your email about that. So
you did. Okay. Yeah, I just want to start making content about it. I don't know how to address it. So if you have any experience, if you've taken it or if you haven't taken it, why or why not?
Right, right. And I haven't done any of the injectables. I just haven't. But I'm curious if anybody mentioned the liquids. And this was I think, a scam actually on Facebook, but it's liquids and I have it by my bed, but I forget to take it. And so I'm kind of ambivalent about it anyway. I'm just curious if anybody mentioned it before I got on. That's all.
Nobody mentioned it. No, nobody's mentioned that.
Okay.
Grace, why did you decide not to take the GLPs and to do this course instead? Because it seems like an either or kind of decision.
No, not at all. I wasn't ever thinking about the injectable GLPs. Never.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, is it fear of side effects? Is it, it's
To
chemical?
me, no, it's danger, 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 and not hitting the spot,
Hmm,
not hitting the why.
not hitting the root
So,
cause.
yeah, when I found you, then I go, okay, yeah, right, okay, that's what I'm going after is the foundational piece, the way down, the below the conscious mind. That's
You
what
got, I've got the right audience, man. You guys are here to do the hard work.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
Okay,
admirable. Cool,
okay,
thank you.
that's it. Thank you.
Hey, Karen. Oh, you're not unmuted. You're gonna, there you
So,
go.
Amanda's input just triggered something for me. I really think the exercise and the muscle mass is a really big part of it because during, basically during this last year, I started doing workouts again.
Okay.
And my body immediately started changing and started feeling better, and I started feeling more energy, and the whole standard stuff, but then you forget it when you fall off the wagon, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I just want to double tap on that. Is like if you want to lose weight and be healthier, one or the other, you've got to be moving your body, exercising, and to me also muscle mass.
Yeah.
The other thing that came up for me is that one thing over this year that has changed for me is my body is massively, I mean, it was kind of mentioned earlier in the class, but my body is massively more sensitive to the difference between something that's really healthy and something that's really crap. So I happened to go Monday out to breakfast, and it was a place I didn't know very well. I'd been there once before. I ordered something different. And part of what they gave me was a big slice of ham, and I almost never eat ham. I almost never eat pork, actually. And it was a part of what they made, what I ordered and what they made for me. And I could just feel by the time I was 2/3 of the way through that my body was not happy with this at all, and it started tasting really bad, and I didn't feel great the rest of the day. So I think as I've gotten healthier and as I have improved cutting out these foods, that we've worked on through the tapping and stuff like that, that my whole body is now just way better sensitized to, yes, this is good stuff and I'll feel good with this stuff, and this is bad and I'm going to feel bad and it's going to taste bad pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things, if you just rely on a medication and you don't start changing your habits, i.e. finding a way to change your habits, right?
Yeah.
That you're not going to make that much progress.
Yeah. I mean, like I keep saying, good on you for being willing to do the hard work to get there, because most people would rather put a Band-Aid on their wound instead of, doing surgery or going in and figuring out why they got cut in the first place. That's a lot harder, right? Than just putting it on it. So
yeah.
Cool. Thank you for that.
And my approach has been such that I've lost about 37 pounds.
Okay.
And kept it off over, I think it's pretty close to 3 years now.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'm thrilled that I've kept it off. So that's already, the first success, and now I want the next 10 off. And
Wait, did you go on and then get off and you were able to maintain your weight loss?
No. I've never gone on a GLP.
Oh, you never did it. Oh, okay.
No. I dropped the 37 pounds myself.
Cool. Okay. Was that before you joined this program or once you were in it?
The first 2/3 was before.
Okay. And then, so why did you decide to join this? Were you worried that it was going to come back, or?
No, because I still had a bunch that I wanted to lose.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And the thing that you had been doing that got you success, you didn't think that it would continue giving you success, or why didn't you just stick with that one thing?
I think I was doing this fall off the wagon type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So there was something more I needed to be able to do.
Oh, you probably saw my ad about body boundary violation and we're like,
No,
oh.
no, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
It wasn't that. But it was just that I found something that kind of appealed to me because I'd done tapping before and I knew how
Oh, okay.
powerful it could be.
Oh, good. Okay.
And so I thought, okay, this could be actually something that really helps me, lose the next 30 pounds, which I want to do.
That makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah, it was more like that.
Cool. Okay. Great. Good feedback. Thank you. Okay. Hey, Marlene.
Yeah. You keep asking like why would we come to your program? Well, I'm sure I saw it on Facebook ads as I'd be scrolling through there. And I like the fact that it's natural. So I ended up signing up for the 6-month program probably in February. And then there was the deal of, okay, there was going to be an extension on it. I missed all kinds of calls. I missed all kinds of tapping. And I don't know, I think I'm a smart person, but it seems like it takes a long time for things to sink into my head how it's actually working and how to get the gist out of the program. And I was under so much pressuring myself, thinking, I'm going to run out of time. I haven't done this. And I was just on my case so bad. I thought, screw it. I'm signing up again. So that's what I did. Was when you had it on at $1,900. Here's the card. Here's the card. And now I
That's a
attend.
different program. The 6-week program is different than the $2,000 program. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I first I did the 6-week program, and then you got
Yeah.
$300 off if you signed up for
You've
the
done that.
6-month
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So I did that, and then I still was missing all kinds of tapping calls because I was working, and I live on the West Coast, and the East Coast times just weren't working for me for calls. And
Okay.
so, and I
Oh, so
probably
you signed up for Thrive again.
yeah, yeah, that's right. I am determined.
That's
And
what I'm gonna do it.
now I can't believe how big the onion is.
I
For
know.
the layers to come off. Now I'm getting it, right? So
Good. Okay, well, don't do that again. We just you can get into a monthly subscription and it's less than if you buy it again. So do that next time.
okay, thanks.
Okay, all right, you're welcome. Okay, you guys, this has been such a good call. Thank you so much for your feedback and for all your stories. I wasn't able to, I guess I could take the download of the chats. I'll look at your chat. Somebody said there's a book. Oh, written by a journalist who went on to look at the sides. It was all sides of the GOP issue. Oh, Magic Pill. Okay, cool. Thank you for that book recommendation. This was a great class, ladies. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you on Monday we're going to work on tribal trauma. So if that's interesting to you, I'll be talking about that then. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.
I have one quick question before you jump off.
Oh, yeah.
I was received an email. I think it was from Thrive. I'm kind of confused on the programs, and it said there was a ceremony. Was that before this class?
No, that's a pre-recorded thing, and it's just available. Like that module's available.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, because I had my goods ready for the ceremony.
Do it. Perfect. Do it, but you got to
Okay.
listen to it and have all the things ready. Maybe that's why it tells you because you have to get some. You have to.
Oh, because the email was like, "Hey, starting today at whatever," and then I got an email about this, so I thought it was the same class.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's written wrong. We used to air the calls live to keep people on track, but then people just want to go through them whenever they want. So maybe we made the edits on that email. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm also not crazy techie, so I might have just assumed it was the same thing. So
okay.
I will figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's just listen at your leisure whenever.
Okay. Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. So nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, you too. I'll get to know you much better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye.